Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums, EPs, or singles, and after I listen to them all week, I come back here and I review them, I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. J.J. Howard's new single, Growing Older. Before I dive into my thoughts on J.J. Howard's new single, Growing Older, let me just say this came across as a request from You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl. Thanks, You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl, for requesting this song. Now let's dive into it. So, nice song. Pretty nice song here. Stylistically, definitely on the softer side of things. Instrumentally, piano, bass guitar, violin, and drum is what makes up this song. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Really like the perspective this song has on growing older. Talks about how there is beauty in the wrinkles that come from, growing older, and the moments that make us who we are along the way. Up next, CRC Music's new single, Open the Gates. CRC Music's new single, Open the Gates. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good song here. I would say that the worship leader's voice wasn't my favorite when I first listened to her voice, but her voice came to grow on me ultimately, and I like the sound of the song from the start, so pretty good song here. Stylistically, definitely a worship song here. Instrumentally, piano, acoustic guitar, bass guitar, and drum. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Talks about how we've come to open the gates for Jesus, the first and the last, the King of Glory, to come riding on our praise. Up next, the deluxe edition of Jacob Stanifer's album, Full Circle. The deluxe edition of Jacob Stanifer's album, Full Circle. Let's dive into it. Now, to be honest, I did not review the original edition of this album when it first came out, but I'm so glad I got to go back and check out the deluxe edition of this album, because this is a pretty good album. So what's new here? A new song that kind of serves like the outro to the album, and then we have 2 remixes, and then we have a reimagined version of Normal. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. He touched on a few different themes here. He talks about how he misses the girl he loves. And while the ability to video call is nice, he wishes he could get back to the normal best moments that don't take place on a screen. He also talks about how he would do anything to make this girl feel better. And he also talks about how it's hard to not know where he's going, but it's okay because it helps him to realize that life is not about material wealth, but putting his hope in the God who loves him through all the highs and lows. Up next, Alvin Cedric's self-titled EP. Alvin Cedric's self-titled EP. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, a hip-hop release with lo-fi and pop influence, balanced pretty evenly throughout the EP. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Alvin talks about how it's his time to do the best he can and trust in God to make a way to get his dream. And Alvin also talks about the struggle of how he struggles with remembering to not chase famous success. Alvin also talks about the struggles, how he has a hard time with growing apart from his friends as he grows up. Up next, our last release for today, Jayknight's new EP, God Tier. Jayknight's new EP, God Tier. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, a mix of trap influenced and lo-fi influenced hip-hop. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Jayknight talks about how, against all odds, God in his grace has looked out for him by putting him on the unknockable God tier and giving him the opportunity to rap for God's glory and to chase blessings. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in the video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what we said about them, let me know down in the comments below. Also in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases today that you want to see in next week's video. Or on January 3rd for that matter, as I know there were a few releases that could be of interest that came out on that day. So if you want to see any of those releases from that day in next week's video, you can let me know down in the comments below as well. January 3rd or January 7th are the releases I'm looking for here this week. Also, check out the playlist section for the new edition of my Music Month Stream playlist available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. This month's playlist featuring songs from artists like KB, Building 429, David Dunn, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!